Ever drive through a place and think, wow, people actually live like this? Big porches, tree-lined roads, farmers markets on Saturday, live music on Friday, the kind of suburb that feels like a movie set, but it's real, and people here love it. That's Glen Allen. It's not just one of Richmond's most popular suburbs, it's also one of the most dynamic. New luxury communities popping up, historic charm around every corner, and somehow still one of the lowest property tax rates in all of Central Virginia. Oh, and did I mention in Henrico County, your fire and EMS service is completely free. You'll never get a bill, ever. So yeah, it's seen it and it's growing fast. On the surface, Glen Allen looks like your typical charming suburb. Beautiful homes, big parks, award-winning schools, the kind of place that makes magazine covers. But here's the thing, most people don't realize. Living here comes with some pretty unique trade-offs, from traffic patterns that'll test your patience to a surprisingly affordable cost of living if you know where to look. It's one of the most sought-after parts of Richmond and has been for years. But that demand, yeah, it's changing fast. So what's it really like to live here? Well, I'm about to show you right now, the real Glen Allen, not just the highlight reels. Hey y'all, I'm Holly, a top producing local real estate agent here in Richmond. Whether you're relocating to RVA or just looking for your forever home, I specialize in helping folks like you find the right neighborhood for your next chapter. And as a native Richmonder, I love giving you the kind of honest local insight you won't get from Zillow or Google. Although if you do happen to Google me, you'll find over 35 five-star reviews. Just saying. This video is your insider guide to Glen Allen, Richmond's #1 suburb, and we're doing it driving tour style. From brand new communities like Sadler Square and Greenhouse to historic treasures like the Cliff Inn and Walker House. We're covering everything. But before we dive in, let's answer the 3 things you're probably wondering. First, why should I care about Glen Allen? Because it consistently ranks as one of the most livable, safest, and best school suburbs in all of Central Virginia. If you're moving to the Richmond area, this is the place many people start their search and often where they end up planting roots. Second, where is it? Glen Allen is in Henrico County, about 15 to 20 minutes northwest of downtown Richmond, tucked between Short Pump, Ashland, and Lakeside. It's close to I-295 and 64, but not too close. You've got easy access to major roads, but still get that tucked away neighborly feel. And third, how much does it cost to live here? Here's a snapshot. Entry-level single-family homes start around $350,000 to $425,000. New builds like Greenhouse and Sadler Square are pushing $600,000 to $850,000. And if you're going for land or luxury, you could easily hit $850,000 and up, especially near Emerson Mill, Hunton Estates, or off Shady Grove Road. But what makes Glen Allen different isn't just the home prices. Here's the thing, most real estate agents will show you a map and some listings, but they'll miss what actually matters: the vibe, the schools, the traffic flow, the neighbor who throws the best Halloween party on the block. I won't, because I'm a relocation specialist, a native Richmonder, and I know Glen Allen like the back of my hand. So let's get our tour started right here at Innsbrook. If Glen Allen had a downtown, this would be it. You've got a mix of everything here: business parks, apartment communities, restaurants, a corporate-style hotel, and yes, that iconic lake that seems to be in half the engagement photos of Henrico County. Home to Capital One, Markel, and dozens of regional headquarters. But after the pandemic, when people started working from home and priorities shifted, this place started to change. And honestly, that change has been amazing. There's been a huge push to make Innsbrook more walkable, more livable, not just 9 to 5, but 24/7. They're adding mixed-use developments, townhomes, green spaces, local restaurants, even spots for live music and events. Think suburban version of mini downtown, and it's actually working. If you're someone who likes the idea of being close to energy, but without the chaos of downtown Richmond, this is one of the best spots in Glen Allen. Are there still companies here? Absolutely. You can see one of the buildings right here behind me. There are over 400, from small tech startups to major corporate headquarters. Finance, insurance, IT, healthcare, professional services. If you're looking to work local, there are real opportunities right here. That's part of why the area's unemployment rate stays low and home values stay so strong. Now let's talk traffic. Innsbrook does get busy during rush hour. Cox Road and Knuckles can back up around 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. But here's the thing, Henrico County is smart about traffic flow. The lights are long, but they're timed well. And the infrastructure here is modern. So here's the summary. If you're looking for that live, work, play lifestyle, Innsbrook is where Glen Allen's future is being built. Walkable trails, community concerts, new construction, still in Henrico County, still top-rated schools, still free EMS and fire services, still a lower tax rate than almost anywhere else in the region. We'll see what this place looks like in 5 years, but the vision is clear. And if I were a betting woman, I'd say this is going to be one of the most desirable hubs in all of RVA. Now buckle up, because we're hitting the road in Glen Allen, and I've got a lot to show you. First stop, we're heading just down the street to one of the neighborhoods right here in Innsbrook. If you've ever dreamed of living in a place that feels like a resort but functions like real life, this is it. Welcome to Innsbrook Square Townhomes, where luxury meets walkability right in the heart of Glen Allen. Picture this. You start your day in your gourmet kitchen, sunlight pouring in through the oversized windows. You grab your coffee and head upstairs, not to the office, but to your own private rooftop terrace. Yes, that's a standard feature here. These are 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage townhomes with modern open concept layouts, walk-in closets, and high-end finishes. They've got the space and privacy of a single-family home with the low-maintenance lifestyle of townhome living. This is one of several 3 to 4-story townhome communities that I've helped quite a few clients call home over the last couple of years. By the way, if you're thinking about moving to the Richmond area, feel free to shoot me a text or give me a call. That number on the screen, that's my real number, and yes, you'll be talking to me. I'll also drop my free Richmond relocation guide below. It's packed with everything I wish people knew before they moved here. But in Innsbrook Square, it's the amenities that really take things next level. There's a resort-style pool and sun deck, a 24-hour fitness center with yoga, TRX, and cycling class studios. You've got a clubhouse with shuffleboard, pool tables, a game room, and even a full kitchen for parties and events. Step outside and you've got walking trails, green space, and sidewalks that actually connect, not just to other homes, but to real life. Grocery stores, cafes, Broad Street shopping, and Innsbrook business hubs are literally right around the corner. It's one of the few places in Richmond's West End where you can park your car and not move it at all for the entire weekend. Prices are in the 500,000s. This neighborhood represents a new wave in Glen Allen housing. Modern, community-centered, but still rooted in what works. And get this, Innsbrook itself was just named one of the best places to live in America. It's not hype, it's well-deserved. So whether you're a young professional looking for low-maintenance luxury, a downsizer trading square footage for simplicity, or a remote worker who wants a rooftop terrace instead of a cubicle, Innsbrook Square might just be your next home base. All right, just a couple minutes up the road from Innsbrook Square, we're now in one of Glen Allen's newest and most buzzed about communities, Sadler Square by Miller & Smith. This place is so fresh, you're still going to catch the sound of nail guns and saws in the background, but trust me, it's already turning heads. Think sleek, stylish single-family homes with brick and board exteriors, tons of curb appeal, and layouts designed for modern living. Open kitchens, big islands, tons of natural light. It's exactly what buyers are asking for right now, which, if you notice the theme, are kind of becoming Glen Allen's signature lifestyle features. One of the biggest draws here, walkability. You're right off Sadler Road, just minutes from Broad Street, but the vibe inside this community feels tucked away, peaceful, neighborly, almost village-like. There's a trail system that winds throughout the development with future green space planned and wide sidewalks, perfect for walking your dog, strollers, or just getting your steps in. Why Sadler Square stands out? Here's the deal. This isn't just another cookie-cutter suburb. Miller & Smith has a reputation for blending modern design with functional, flexible living. This is actually their first development here in RVA. These homes aren't massive, but they live smart, and for many buyers, that's the sweet spot. You're about 5 minutes from Shore Pump Town Center, Trader Joe's, Wegmans, and all the restaurants and shops you could ever need. Sadler Square is ideal for first-time buyers, downsizers, and even investors looking for something new in high-demand zip codes. It's got that rare combo, new construction and prime location, all in one place. And in Glen Allen's fast-evolving landscape, this is the kind of neighborhood that's going to appreciate quickly. All right, so we're leaving Sadler Square behind and heading just a few minutes west to another more established community in Glen Allen, Emerson Mill. Now, if you're watching this and wondering, Holly, are all of these new homes popping up for real? The answer is yes. Glen Allen is growing fast, especially out here near Laurel and Short Pump. And what's interesting is each of these neighborhoods has its own identity. Sadler Square feels tucked in and walkable, kind of intimate. Emerson Mill, on the other hand, is a little more classic suburban energy, but still with today's buyer in mind. And this part of Glen Allen, it's incredibly convenient. You're right off 64, so whether you're commuting into downtown Richmond or heading west toward Charlottesville, it's a straight shot. And also 295 is just up the street. Plus, all the essentials, Target, Lowe's, Starbucks, even Costco are just minutes away. Churches galore. There are also a number of active lifestyle communities along this stretch of Staples Mill, like Cross Ridge, Britland, North and South, and Manor Grove at Hunton Park. Let's make a stop here real quick and talk about something most people overlook until they really need it: public safety. In Glen Allen and all of Henrico County, you're covered by one of the most responsive and community-oriented public safety networks in the state. Here's something very few people know. I mentioned it briefly a few minutes ago. In Henrico County, you'll never get a bill for fire or EMS services. That's right. If you call 911 and an ambulance shows up or a fire truck, you won't get a $900 plus surprise in the mail. That's different from every other locality in the Richmond area. In most places, that same call could cost you hundreds, even if your insurance does cover at least a portion of it. But here in Glen Allen, it's just taken care of, because that's how Henrico does things. The fire department is staffed with career professionals, not volunteers, which means 24/7 coverage and some of the fastest response times in the region. They also have an ISO rating of 1, which means the potential for lower homeowners insurance premiums. The Henrico Police Department takes a proactive, community-based approach. They're not just responding to crime, they're building relationships. You'll regularly see officers at school events, neighborhood meetings, and community outreach programs. And when it comes to safety stats, Glen Allen consistently ranks among the safest areas in the greater Richmond. Translation: whether you're raising a family, downsizing, or just trying to live life in peace, this is the kind of place where you can actually exhale. And if all of that wasn't impressive enough, Henrico County has lowered the property tax rate twice in recent years. That's almost unheard of anywhere right now. So not only are you getting world-class public services, you're also paying less for them. You can't always predict when you'll need emergency services, but here in Glen Allen, you can trust that when the moment comes, help is just minutes away, and you'll never be handed a bill for doing the right thing and calling for it. That kind of peace of mind, it's not flashy, but it's one of the most valuable things about living here. Now let's walk through the backyard of the fire station here and talk about the schools. If you're moving with kids or planning to, then I already know this is one of your top questions. How are the schools? And here's the good news. Glen Allen is part of Henrico County Public Schools, one of the most respected public school systems in the state. Schools like Glen Allen High School, Hungry Creek Middle, and Glen Allen Elementary that you see right here behind me consistently earn high ratings and have strong reputations for academics, athletics, and student support. Glen Allen High in particular is known for its high graduation rate, strong college prep, and award-winning programs in things like visual arts and business. It's the kind of school that attracts a lot of out-of-state buyers who want that balance of suburban lifestyle and solid academics. But one of the real standouts in Henrico is the specialty center system. These are competitive programs within public high schools that focus on fields like engineering, health sciences, visual and performing arts, leadership, global studies, IT and cybersecurity. Students apply in 8th grade, and if accepted, they get a focused, more college-style experience, all while still attending a public school. It's a game changer for high-achieving kids, and Glen Allen High School is home to the Center for Education and Human Development, perfect for future teachers, counselors, or anyone passionate about youth leadership. If you're exploring private education, Glen Allen's location gives you easy access to several of Richmond's top private schools, including the Stewart School, Collegiate School, Benedictine, College Prep, St. Michael's, and St. Gertrude's. These schools offer smaller class sizes, advanced placement tracks, and often a more tailored academic experience, but they come with a private tuition price tag to match. Bottom line, families love Glen Allen because they can get great schools, safe neighborhoods, and strong community support without the price tag you'd find in many other states for the same level of education. You've got options here: public, private, specialty, and that flexibility, it means you can truly find the right fit for your kids, not just the closest school on the map. Now, without further ado, we're going to drive on down the rest of the way to Emerson Mill. All right, so here we are at Emerson Mill, and I'm going to be straight with you. You can't build here anymore. This community is sold out. But if you're dreaming of classic elegance, room to breathe, and modern upscale design in Glen Allen, this is one of those neighborhoods you keep your eye on. These homes are anything but starter homes. Most recent sales here easily in the $900,000 range, with premium upgrades, gourmet kitchens, multi-level layouts, and flexible living spaces designed for today's family. Think 5 to 6 bedrooms, home offices, lofts, finished basements, and even 3-car garages. And the lots bigger than what you'll find in most new construction west of Richmond. You're not right on top of your neighbors here. You're tucked away in a quiet, refined corner of Glen Allen. What really sets Emerson Mill apart isn't just the luxury finishes, it's the community feel. Wide sidewalks, landscape yards, and the kind of place where everyone waves when they walk by. You're tucked away off Stables Mill Road, far enough from Broad Street to feel peaceful, but still just minutes from Short Pump, I-295 and Stables Mill Station. And of course, this is still Henrico County. So who lives here? This is where you go when you're leveling up, whether that's from Midlothian, the city, or out of town. It's popular with executives, remote professionals, and folks relocating for Richmond's growing industries, finance, healthcare, and tech especially. If you want newer construction without the wait list, this is one of those neighborhoods where you watch the listings, because when a home hits the market here, it doesn't last long. This is one to keep an eye on. All right, so we're leaving the wide porches and finished basements of Emerson Mill and heading just a few miles east to one of Glen Allen's newest and most affordable new home communities, Greenhouse by Eastwood Homes. Now, this drive is where things start to feel a little different. You're still in Glen Allen, still in Henrico County, but you're moving into that transitional zone where new growth is colliding with old farmland and developers are building the next wave of suburban living. This is one of those get-in early neighborhoods. The infrastructure is still being shaped, the community is still growing. But if you're a buyer who values brand new construction, lower price points, and a strong return on investment, this is one of the few places in Henrico where that's still possible. Welcome to Greenhouse, a fresh new community by Eastwood Homes built right off of Woodman Road in Glen Allen. This is one of the most affordable new construction options in Henrico County right now, especially for folks who don't want to compromise on style, schools, or convenience. These homes are modern, open, and designed for the way people live today. You'll find 3 to 5 bedroom floor plans like the one that you see behind me, flex rooms for home offices or playrooms, and upgrades like granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and spacious walk-in closets. Most homes come with 2-car garages, and you still get that backyard feel, something a lot of single-family communities just can't offer because of the postage stamp size lots. Greenhouse is still in its early phases, which means pricing here is competitive and there's still time to personalize floor plans and finishes. If you've been priced out of Short Pump or Midlothian, this might be your next best move. So who's buying here? Greenhouse is attracting a mix of first-time buyers, young families, and even downsizers who want new without the maintenance headaches of older homes. Schools are part of the Henrico County public school system, and there are plans for future trails and green spaces as the community continues to develop. So here's the big takeaway. If you want new, if you want affordable, and if you're okay getting in while the dust is still settling, Greenhouse is one of the best bets left in Glen Allen. It's not quite finished yet, but the potential, it's all here. All right, we've seen Glen Allen's future, but now we're headed towards its past. We're heading out on Mountain Road, and this is where Glen Allen starts to feel different, slower, quieter, like a snapshot of small-town Virginia hidden in plain sight. Let's start with the Walker House right here behind me, one of the oldest homes still standing in Glen Allen. Built in the mid-19th century and named after the Walker family, early settlers who helped shape this area. This house is a true time capsule. It's now part of the Cultural Arts Center at Glen Allen, and it serves as a reminder that even as we build forward, we're still rooted in something real. You can almost feel the layers of time here, the hand-carved wood, the uneven porch floors, and stories that never made it into textbooks. And speaking of the Cultural Arts Center at Glen Allen, you can see it here through the trees and across the parking lot. This building was once the Glen Allen School, originally constructed in 1911, and today it's been beautifully restored into a vibrant, buzzing hub for the arts. Inside, you'll find art galleries, performance spaces, community events, and hands-on classes for everything from ceramics to photography to even ballroom dancing. It's not just a place to look at art, it's a place to make it, to connect, to celebrate local talent, and to experience a side of Glen Allen that's a little more unexpected. Whether you're raising kids who love the stage, looking for a weekend date night, or just want to feel inspired again, the Cultural Arts Center is proof that you don't need to go downtown to find culture and creativity. It's right here in your own backyard. As we head just a little farther down Mountain Road, we will see the Virginia Cliff Inn right here on the right, one of Glen Allen's most underrated gems. Built in the 1800s, this historic structure once served travelers as a stagecoach stop, and over the years, it's been a post office, general store, and boarding house. It's now an Airbnb and events venue, but the character remains. Every year, they host a Christmas market here that is one of my favorites in all of RVA. You can find tons of unique Christmas gifts, and they always have the best spiced hot apple cider. It just tastes like Christmas in a mug. It's one of those places that reminds you Glen Allen wasn't always cul-de-sacs and model homes. This was a true railroad town, a stopover spot, a place where people passed through and eventually decided to stay. We just passed on the left a local staple, Glen Allen Grocery, one of those places that doesn't look like much from the outside, but once you walk in, you're a family. They've got snacks, hot food, gas, and more than a few stories if you hang around long enough. You'll also find tucked away locally owned businesses you won't find anywhere else. This is the kind of community where folks still wave when you drive by, and that sense of everyone knows everyone, it's not a slogan, it's real. And then there's this place, the old gas station on Mountain Road. It hasn't pumped fuel in years, but it's become a local landmark in its own way. The kind of thing you drive past 100 times and smile every single one. It's a little piece of roadside Americana frozen in time, and one of those things that makes Glen Allen feel authentic. Not curated, not master planned, just lived in. It's easy to get caught up in the brand new communities, the schools, the splashy amenities. But places like the Cliff Inn, the Walker House, and even that old gas station, they're what's ground this community. Glen Allen isn't just a suburb, it's a story. And whether you're new here or thinking about making it home, you're stepping into something that's been unfolding for over 150 years. All right, we're pulling into our final stop, and I can't think of a better way to wrap up this tour than right here at Crump Park and RFMP Park. If Glen Allen had a heart, this would be it. Open skies, rolling green fields, historic farmland, and the hum of a Saturday baseball game in the background. Let's start with Crump Park, home to the Meadow Farm Museum that you see here behind me, a preserved 19th century farm that tells the story of rural life in Henrico County before the Civil War. Yes, there are real barns, real animals, real stories. It's living history, but also it's just a really great place to bring your kids, stretch your legs, or sit under a tree with a coffee and a podcast. You've got walking trails, picnic shelters, and a quiet little pond where local ducks live their best lives. It's peaceful, it's clean, it's the kind of place that reminds you why you moved here in the first place. Crump Park is one of 3 different parks here in this part of Glen Allen. You also have Echo Lake Park, which is a smaller park with a large pond in the middle. There are trails surrounding the pond and a playground for the kiddos. My little one loves watching the ducks swim and the turtles stick their heads up out of the water. The third is Glover Park, which is just a few minutes north of the heart of Glen Allen. This is a project that's quietly becoming a very big deal, not just for Henrico County, but for anyone who loves sports, trails, dogs, or just being outside. Glover Park is a massive master plan recreational complex that's growing into something that's way more than just ball fields. The vision here isn't just sports tournaments, it's community. First up, the largest dog park in the county. We're talking 1.75 acres of natural grass, complete with shade, structures, seating areas, and plenty of space for your pup to zoom and socialize. If you've ever been to the one at Short Pump Park, think that, but bigger, better, and with more room to roam. Glover Park will also feature 3.1 miles of gravel trails weaving through woods and along the Chickahominy River. So whether you're walking, running, or pushing a stroller, you'll have plenty of space to breathe. Add in a large playground, outdoor fitness stations, and a shared use path that connects right into the upcoming Fall Line Trail, and you've got something that not just is for athletes, it's for everybody. But yes, for the serious players in your family, this place is going to be next level. Two synthetic turf multi-purpose fields, perfect for soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, and 2 NCAA regulation baseball fields with lights, so the action doesn't stop when the sun goes down. This is the kind of place that will host regional tournaments, travel leagues, and local showdowns, all while offering plenty of parking and easy access thanks to a new entrance off of Woodman Road. They're adding 1,250 new parking spaces because when this place is hopping, it's going to be packed. Glover Park isn't just a one-and-done build. It started as a 90-acre vision, but after land donations and purchases, the site now spans over 209 acres. Glover Park is proof that Henrico is planning for the future, with parks that serve everyone, not just a few. It's one more reason families are choosing Glen Allen, not just for what it is today, but for what it's becoming. Speaking of sports, let's walk right next door to our F&P Park, Glen Allen's go-to spot for youth sports, community leagues, and just all-around active living. These baseball fields, they're not just fields. This is tournament quality turf with lights, concessions, and a reputation that brings in teams from all over Virginia. If you've got little ones in cleats or teens swinging bats, you're probably going to spend a lot of time here. You won't mind because this park was built for community and it's buzzing with life almost every evening. Here's the truth. People don't just move to Glen Allen for square footage and schools. They move here for this, for the space to breathe, for community baseball games under the lights, for parks that feel like they belong to you, for quiet pods at old farmhouses and the sounds of the kids laughing outside, for the fireworks under the stars or the laser shows for the holidays. Glen Allen doesn't need to be flashy. It just needs to be real, and right here it is. So what do you think? Glen Allen might not be the loudest or flashiest suburb in Richmond, but it's consistent. It's thoughtful. It's the kind of place where people stay for decades, not just years. You've got top-tier schools, free EMS and fire service. Seriously, I know I've said this before, but that's rare. Thriving small businesses and a range of neighborhoods from ultra-modern townhomes to $900,000 plus custom homes that are already off the market because, yeah, they're that good. You've seen the parks, you've seen the schools, you've seen the community. So the question is, do you see yourself here? Whether you're relocating from out of the state or just looking for that forever home right here in RVA, my job is to give you the real story behind each community. The stuff Google can't tell you, the vibe, the trade-offs, the why. So if Glen Allen is starting to feel like more than just a name on a map, let's talk. Thanks for riding along today, and who knows, maybe I'll be handing you the keys to your new Glen Allen home real soon.